All right. Those on YouTube, we're just getting set up here real quick. Morning, Pop Bill. Man, this pump, I needed this one. I was go through my LTC, but I had this long that was just kind of pulling back. It was only DCA one, right? But got out just perfectly right before that fall. So cool. All right, let's set up the chats here. Okay. We should be good. So let's get started. We're about 1 minute in. I don't want to take too much time longer. So we'll just start off quickly with the market. Things I'm watching, potential double top here on the 15 minute for the SPY. The uh, this is actually the SP 500, right? Or the SPX. Um, it's been rejecting. I'm on the 1 hour here, but you can see it's been rejecting off of this red trend line nonstop, right? And so it's still losing some steam. The most important thing I'm looking at here, which is what leads me to believe we're going to get some kind of pullback, is if you look at it, since we pumped past here, we had our golden cross, and we have not crossed or broken this level, right? The 200. So we're actually breaking below that now in the after hours, and we're getting the death cross. So if this were to come back up, retest this and fail, it's likely going to pull back at least to this trend line here, and likely down further down here. So that's kind of what I'm watching. The VIX, you can see, is an inverse, right? It did fall, but it created a higher low. And then now it's pushing up, which is what's driving things down. The interesting part is, though, the Dixie is actually breaking down. So we were watching this level when I put the inside out, and I said if it breaks, we're going to get a pretty big move down, which we did. And so the interesting part, and this is the thing I like to watch for, right? The Dixie is breaking down, but the market, pre-market's actually coming down too, right? Which is not normal because this is normally inverse. So two things are going to happen. Either A, this is going to continue to break down, and this is going to see a really big pump up to catch up to what the Dixie's falling down. Or B, this is going to find support and start pushing up. And even though it didn't react to the market pushing it up while it was going down, it still can push it down while it's going up. If that makes sense. A little, little weird. So we'll see how today opens. I anticipate we're going to get some move down. I've actually you guys in the room seen I had a great day taking puts yesterday on these pullbacks, and I'm actually in a 3 contract put right now. So from 398 from when we were here yesterday on market close, so around 315. So I'm opening up at a pretty good win so far on my puts. So I'm excited. Keep on going. Um, Moving into the total market cap, we keep finding support right here like we anticipated. This is because of this previous level here, holding support plus a lot of resistance through here from prior. So it's gonna hold. It's not surprising me that it's gonna hold. Um, the big thing that you want to see here though is if you notice on the 1 hour, again, look at the EMAs, right? The 200 is this one. We had a golden cross, and what happened? We went crazy, right? We've been talking about this gap fill forever, that it has to happen, right? I mean, all gap fills happen. I don't care what's going on, right? At some point, it's going to happen. Um, and so, if you notice, since this crazy push up, right, and back here is like probably 19K, right? Bitcoin, maybe even 18. And so up here, we had this big crazy run, right? But now we have what? We have a death cross, right? We have not had a death cross since we had this pump up. So doesn't mean it's going to hold for good. I mean, I would prefer to see this level here get broken and then find resistance, and that's going to tell me we're coming down to the next level to go sideways. Now, those of you who are in the room, uh, a gap fill can be considered filled if you go halfway down from where the pump was, right? So that still puts it about here. So we could fall down to about 20K, 21K, 21.5, and still find support and push north again, right? Very possible. So, but I'm looking for a rejection on this line, and that'll pull us back down. Bitcoin's pretty much the same. You can see, we caught the long here. We had the pullback. The pullback is on this white line. The white line I was talking about in the room is been a really crazy support and resistance line. So you can see here, we talked about this the other day. It actually goes all the way back to that farther. But you can see crazy resistance, crazy support, and it's now acting as resistance. So if this cannot break past this line, that's where this fall is going to come. It's going to come pretty quick. So we'll keep an eye on that today. So let's see, Ethereum. We go to the 2 minute. So Ethereum had a nice little run up this morning, and then it had pulled back. Um, I'm not going to go too deep into Ethereum. Ethereum's pretty much just following Bitcoin, but you can see all this was a fall, and over, a back up. It retested the previous support level, obviously acted as resistance and rejected, which is typically a sign of pulling down. In order to continue up, we would need to hit this and uh, basically act 1750 as support. So all right, so Bitcoin. I want to show you. So I had Bitcoin short and long going. I did stop it recently because I want to shift over and play the live trader. So I am actually not in this short here, but it made like $6 on the shorts. I just barely started it yesterday, and so that's where I reset it. The longs made about 24, did pretty good since I started it. Had a DCA here, which got out pretty nicely. So I wanted to show you guys how to do this. So as many of you know, I don't when I do my layouts, I do one layout per pair. So I'm gonna actually trade the live trader on this a few times, and so the live trader is going to be my bottom two indicators. You can see live, the L, and then the Gambit's the top two. You can add as many indicators as your subscription allows you to add um, onto this, right? So um, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Gambit ones and I'm going to mute them, and then I'm going to take my live trader ones and bring them up. So I'm going to go through first the other pairs to get through them quickly, and then I'm going to do a quick live trader setup with you guys. So the LTC is when one I've been running. It's doing really well, $192 in 6 days. You can see it kind of got stuck a little bit here. I didn't really panic. I had my DCA level set, didn't worry. And in this pump, we got out right before the fall. So, I mean, just really, really well played on this by my ATA. And the beauty is that it's still on, right? So if I take another long here, I'm in good shape. So I'm not too worried on my longs. My shorts have done really well, $219 in 6 days. And you can just see, I mean, it's just rode this thing all the way down. So just absolutely crushed it. So I'm just letting the shorts continue. This 87.97 is a pretty big resistance line and support line. You can see it actually justifies here when it says support, and then now it's acting as resistance, right? So as long as we're below this, my shorts are pretty safe. Anyways, I am running SARS on the LTC. I am doing 5 on my DCA2. Um, the reason why is the DCA2 is a 5 is it's a little bit farther than I would probably say I like, but LTC just moves so fast that I don't want it to DCA too quickly in a parabolic move. So I want to have that time. I'd rather just be patient with it if it gets stuck like it did on this long. I could have easily set a DCA2 somewhere in here and it would have got out here and probably kept trading, right? But I'd rather just be patient. I don't want to be too aggressive with LTC because it's been moving really, really fast lately. You can see look at these moves, like just crazy pump, crazy dump, crazy dump, crazy pump, right? another dump, crazy pump, right? Even right here, right? Pump and then crazy dump. So it's just been moving like a net. So I don't want to overextend my DCAs. So that's how I make that decision on that as well. So we're good. I'm not touching LTC. My Matic. So I tell you what's funny is, and this is, I know sometimes you guys as traders probably feel like this. Um, this is my luck, right? So I go through the back testing. You can see where I started my Matic. And the reason why I started, y'all know when I did the video, like, I don't know, a few days ago, 3 days ago, um, I started Matic because I'm like, man, Matic is just killing it. All right. Like, even in a downtrend, I mean, look, it was just doing so well. And so I'm like, man, this thing has just like never gotten stuck. Like, let me just start Matic. Boom, let's go, right? And then I'm like, okay, it's doing well. Even in a downtrend, we're making some money, we're making some money, making some money, right? I'm like, sweet. Wasn't really worried about it at all. Doing well. And then the first time it got stuck. I was like, the thing didn't get stuck for like 30 days, and then of course now it did, right? So I almost turned it off today. Um, but I'm gonna leave it, guys, just because, you know, when I go to the hour, I still believe that this trend line is going to hold, right? Even if we have a decent fall on the other side of the pairs, I think that it's going to fall down into this range, but then I think it's going to get a big bounce, and those bounces are what's going to get you out. And that's why even though we're in a downtrend, it still hasn't gotten stuck, right? Because Matic keeps having crazy bounces. So you see the fall, a bounce, a fall, a bounce, a fall, a bounce, right? A fall, a bounce. So those bounces is all that the ATA needs to get out. But the beauty is, if you trust your TA that this is going to be a heavily supported area, even though that it's getting stuck or it got stuck, it's kind of like stopping it now when we've already fallen this far would be like, you know riding along all the way down to 18K Bitcoin, and then sitting there saying, "Oh, I finally got out because all my DCAs, but I'm not taking any more longs down here." Like, I mean, that's where you should take longs, right? Um, and so that's kind of how I feel about Matic. I'm gonna leave it. I believe in Matic as a project, anyways. I own some Matic. I really like Matic, so that's why I'm a little more skeptical about shorting Matic, because Matic just gets such crazy pumps. Now, had I shorted this, oh man, it would have been wild, right? But um, I'm not sure that I'm there yet, because I just don't like how close we are to support. Where I would turn on a short on Matic is if I were to fall below this support and act as resistance here. Then I'm gonna turn that short on, because who know, I mean, we're coming down, right? Um, and I'll ride that sucker all the way down to here, and then I'll just flip it back to long, is what I would do. So, but I feel like there's too much potential of spikes north on Matic, so that's why I'm keeping that one. So, and it's done okay. I think, what was the stats? Yeah, 28 bucks almost in 3 days. I mean, not phenomenal, but I'll take it, right? I didn't do anything for it. So Solana is the one I shorted. I seen kind of, if y'all remember the trend that we were doing on Solana going down. That's why I decided to short it. It's done pretty well, 35 bucks in 3 days. But you can see that the key thing I'm happy with about Solana so far is that it is not really getting stuck. You can see, we sold it here, waited till here, did its one DCA a couple times, and then it's just been riding this wave down, right? It throws a DCA here and there, but the parabolic moves seem to be more south than north. We did get a nice little pump up here, but look how cool that is. We took the short, closed it, waited for the pump up, took the short, and then closed it again. So, and we are under its support line, so I'm okay with running the Solana short still. If I go to the hour chart, let's see how far down I have to go. Um, Anywhere around here, when I get into like 17, 18, I'm gonna kill that short. And honestly, I might flip it to long. Um, yeah, so, but as long as we're riding below this wave here, I'm not too worried about it, my shorts. So I'm gonna let Solana run. I'm not gonna make any changes on that. Solana, I'm still running parabolic SARs. I tell you guys, you hear me say parabolic SARs. So this is our newest strategy. Like I said, we've designed this one for the altcoins mostly, but also just as a safer entry. As you notice with these SARs, the entries are more well patient. They're not super aggressive. Now, you may ask, okay, well, why would I run any other strategy? Um, I would run a strategy like range filter. Like if I switch to range filter right here, watch how aggressive this thing, because it's in a downtrend, right? Look at how much this trades. Just boom, 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 boom. I mean, look at the profit went up. I mean, almost double, right? So it if you range filter and moving average both are amazing strategies if you have identified a trend. If you identified a trend or what's another example? So like let's say Bitcoin falls down to 19, 18K again and or 20K and I'm like, guys, I'm going long only, right? When I say I'm going long only, I'm going long only probably with range filter because I'm just gonna I want that thing just trading like a beast, right? And so that's why you would use those strategies. For me, I'm using SARS because I'm running a little bit a little more pairs than I probably should for what I have in my account running a Gambit. So I don't want to go aggressive unless I'm sure that it's going one direction or the other. Um, Although I'm pretty certain I know the direction, it's not certain enough for me to take that risk right now. So I'm gonna go with the safe bet of the running the SARS. My Ethereum. So my Ethereum, I just restarted my Ethereum like a day ago. You can see right here. Yeah, it was yesterday. After Ethereum was stuck for a little bit, and then I got out, I reset some settings, um, and I wanted to show you. So Ethereum, I'm actually running range filter. So I will run one pair, the range filter. The reason why I chose range filter on this one is because, and I'm doing them on both because Ethereum fell to 1700. I see a low of, 1500 or so, 16, 1500, something like that, and a high of like 1880, right? So we're really like right in that middle range. So I'm taking that risk to just let it just trade as aggressive as possible. As y'all know, I love trading ETH as a live trader anyways. So if I feel like one direction or the other is getting truly stuck, I will pause it and just take it over. And I'm sure I can get out of anything that it goes into. So I'm kind of doing this as a test. I want to see how aggressive it will be, and you can see it's just been super aggressive between the long and the shorts, and it's done well. You can see the in one day we made $21 on the longs, and we made $21 on the shorts. So, we made what, 42 $2 in a day, just running the range filter on ETH. So I'm not gonna touch ETH, guys. I like ETH because if I zoom out, this gives you a better picture. Um, we have a long way that we could fall. I mean, heck, we could fall to 15, or we can even fall to this lower range at 13, right? So the longs could get stuck, but I'm okay with being in a long for ETH. That's fine. I'll fight a long all day long. But if I get stuck in my short, I know there's a lot of resistance in here. So there's going to be enough pullback for my ATA likely to get out. And worst case, this is my next peak. So we're kind of like right in the middle. I always have one pair I don't mind being a little bit extra aggressive with, and ETH is just the one that I choose for that. So let's go back to 1 minute. But yeah, we're doing good, guys. We're gonna let this roll. Um, and I think I'm running Aave is the other one. Let's go to Aave. Aave is funny because it burned me pretty bad one time, so I almost didn't run it. But it's done pretty well because look, even in this downtrend, look how it handled this. It bought it, crashed, DCA'd, right? Took its chance, didn't do it. This is the power of our technology. I think people don't even understand is look at this white line right here. This white line is where I allow the ATA to DCA. But notice it didn't DCA here. It didn't DCA here, right? It waited until it had some kind of bullish momentum, which it started to find some support here. It's not a terrible DCA. I mean, you look back here, right? We had some pretty good support, right? So all these reads that the ATA did, um, it got a really good entry, but then it, we had news come out, right? So it crashed again. But look at this DCA. I mean, just nailed that, right? Right back up, boom, TP2 out of it. I mean, turned it into such a great win. So just really awesome. I haven't really watched Ave a lot, so it's cool. I always like to come back and just look and see how it did. And sometimes it'll tell me if I want to get out of something, right? Like right now, there's no reason to kill my long because it's not struggling, right? There's no DCAs since yesterday, so my long's doing pretty well. I made 40, almost 45 bucks in 3 days. I'll take it. And then my shorts made $24 in 3 days. So my shorts haven't made as much because as you look, there's literally a one DCA. Otherwise, it's just entry to close, entry to close. Well, yeah, one here. And so that's going to impact how much it makes, but I'm okay with that. If it's never getting stuck, guys, like I'll ride that all day long, right? So I'm still going to run Aave. I'm okay with it. I do like it because we are also in the middle of range. I see us pumping up high range, into here. Our low range would be into here. If I do get into this range here, I may stop my shorts, um, because even if my long gets stuck, then I can play that out. So I'm trying to think if I want to just stop my shorts. Actually, let me look at my okay. So let's refresh my dashboard. Oh, I don't think you guys can see this screen. Let me pull it over. Okay, so this tells you what, if you ever want to know what you're in, guys, just look at your dashboard. So the only thing I'm in is Ethereum. Everything else is closed right now. I have nothing else open. So I got some decisions I can make, right? So I think I'm gonna stop my Aave short, just because I already have a lot of other stuff going short, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna keep my Aave long, which is I know contradictory to what my thoughts are because I think we're gonna pull back more. But what I'm playing is that bounce. So even if it does get a DCA into this range, you can see it bounced not once but twice, right? So that's kind of what I'm playing is I'm going to play that bounce on the long only. Now, however, if I were to get into a short and some news comes out and we pump all the way back up to here, right? That could get pretty ugly. So I don't want to fight too many pairs. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop my short. We'll let the longs play. We'll see how that goes. I am running this on Parabolic Stars, and I think let's see, yeah, Parabolic Stars, 2 DCAs, 5 on the second one. I may start actually flip this to 3, so I can be a little more aggressive on my since I'm going long only. So I'm gonna flip that to 3. If you make any changes, guys, remember, um, all you have to do when you make a change is make sure you're on the right time frame before you set your alert. But yeah, so you can see we did sell here. Um, so all you have to do is come over here and then take your Aave long and we'll just exit out. And then I really like this new way CK showed me to do this. If you guys didn't see it yet, you just click on the indicator that you want to create the alert for, click the little 3 dots, click add alert, and then you don't have to deal with the condition. I think my webhook's in there still, yep. All right, so let's back this up. And ATA, Gambit, Aave, long. That's all you got to do. I mean, just you guys will find you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You just, when you're ready to make a change, you change it, you delete the alert, you make the new alert, and you're done. I mean, it took seconds, right? The reason why is this alert is a final product of this indicator. That's all it is. So if you change anything on this indicator, you want to change this alert because otherwise it won't know. This alert's what sends you the signal. I always, you guys hear me use the analogy of it's like writing a letter, right? You have the paper, you have the body and the content of the letter, and then you take it to the mailbox. Changing this without deleting this would be like, sending somebody an angry letter and putting it in the mailbox, and then you go back home and you feel guilty and you go, I'm gonna write them a nice letter, and you write them a nice letter, but then you just set it on the desk and walk away. you never took it to the mailbox. How can it? They're still getting the angry letter. I hate to tell you, right? So that's the concept of this. No matter what you write in here, it cannot be sent to the server unless you make the alert. Cannot. So any changes that you make in here, even if I get it, I get that question a lot. Well, I changed this. Well, I only changed this. Well, I only changed that. Well, when in doubt, make the alert. It takes 2 seconds. Just make your changes. Once you're good with it, make your alert. It takes 2 seconds. So that is Aave. So we got about 4 minutes, guys. I'm gonna briefly touch on the other coins just because we didn't yesterday. I have been staying away from XRP, and you can see why. Look at these moves. There's something going on with the lawsuit. I'm thinking, and with the FOMO, right? I mean, look at even with the markets pulling down today. I mean, look at this just crazy pump. It actually broke its previous resistance level, right here. It broke it, and so if it breaks 0.509, guys, this I don't even know. I mean, this thing can go up to like 0.56, or I mean it because it's XRP. I mean, hell, this thing could all come all the way up to 60 cents, right? Um, if you go to the daily and look at it, I mean the support that it found right here and the break up that it found here, um, if it can break above this, it's likely to retest this. If it breaks above this, it's going crazy. Now, I will tell you, I may consider opening a short if I see it break up to 55, 56, 57. I will open up a short ATA because I'll take that risk. Because the likelihood of it continuing, all the way back up to there, is probably not high. But it's just that it's too risky for me. I have plenty of other pairs to choose from, so I don't need to take the risk. XRP was amazing. I mean, you can see it ranged here for a while, just amazingly. It ranged here, great. It did the same thing here last time it pumped, it ranged here, and then it fell back down, right, in range. So I would like for it to reject off of this, pull back into the middle, and then I'll consider maybe running it to catch this range in here. But until then, I don't like it. If you're in an XRP, just set some stop losses. Be careful because one news thing, man, that thing could go nuts. Doge, I don't trade Doge a lot. You guys know this, but it's actually probably one of the better performers, which is funny. If you look here, I mean, whether you're in a short or you're in a long, I mean, it would have just absolutely crushed it. I'm already running more pairs than I like, so I'm not going to run Doge. If I were to run Doge, I would suggest to run probably a long only, because you can see that we have some pullback, but it finds some pretty crazy support off of this level here. So could we go down lower? Sure, but even the low range, if you mark them right here, which hits the most peaks across, um, even at the low range, right, compared, it's not too bad. You can work your way out of that probably. So I would suggest, if you're overextended, don't run it. But if you're looking for a new pair to do because you've added funds, I would like to see Doge get a little closer to here, and then I would long only that sucker with probably range filter and just let it roll. So, but I'm not gonna add Doge. Yeah, so we're good. It is 9 o'clock. I intended to go through the live trader on this session here. If you are in our community, um, I set up another uh, event where I'm going to go on live in about 30 minutes after this. So I'm just going to go grab some quick food, and then we'll come back, and I'm going to focus that event mostly answer questions, but actually going through and setting up this live trader as well. Um, so we can go through that. So if you guys got time, just join. So be about 30 minutes, 9:30, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off, just to respect people's times. And I appreciate you guys joining. If you join late, you can watch the recording. Go to Open Community Events and then click on Past.